In third place from Dublin. Second place from Britain. And the winners, West Mead, it's Morton Games.
Harriers,
Charity Foundation Under 20 Women's Mile. So in third place, it's Morton Games. Second place, Jennifer O'Leary, all the way from Tipperary, Green Olympic. And the presentation of the gold Green Olympic Memorial Cup goes to Lucy Foster from Dublin.
tonight. I apologize. I think it's just not argument. Car's just done. Take that quiet and the lead. Now to our main program, we will introduce the first event, which is the Michael Waller Women's High Jump. Good evening, Carl.
Also from Ireland, with the PB of 53.91.
Well, welcome to Dublin for the 2025 Morton Games. I'm your host, Will Dalton. I'll be trackside all evening talking to the athletes as they come off the track. I'll be getting their reaction to perhaps winning the race and also the conditions this evening, whether it will affect their performances or not. Of course, a whole host of Irish athletes will be performing here tonight. A host of them performed so well last year in Paris in the Olympic Games of 2024. And they'll be joined by loads of athletes who've travelled from all over the world to compete at this famous meeting. Well, as I said, it has been a scorching hot day in Dublin. Will that affect the athletes? I don't know, but I'm sure two people who certainly will know. It's our commentary team who I'll hand you over to now. Ger O'Donnell, but first, Ronan Duggan.
Games here live from Morton Stadium in North County Dublin. A glorious day in the sunshine here. Conditions are perfect for an action-packed evening of track and field. I am Gerard O'Donnell. I'm joined on co-commentary by Ronan Duggan this evening, and we're going to have a look through this evening's action-packed schedule. Ronan, you can talk us through it.
We certainly are. We've got, up first, we've got the women's high jump. We've also got the wheelchair 800 that's coming up on the track very shortly. We've got an excellent women's discus throw, and then we're straight into the 100-metre sprint after that. So we've got some incredible stuff coming up early doors. Jerry, you'll be taking us through the sprints.
Yes, we've got a couple of men's 100-metre sprint races there. As I said, that shot put will be taking place at the same time. Then we're into women's hurdles as well. We'll have a couple of 400 metres back on the one lap of the track, and then into the distance events kicking off with that 800 metres running. And then as we go from there, it just gets longer and longer until we climax with that mile at the end.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible to finish with that mile, and what an incredible evening as well. You can see here on screen, 31 degrees all evening. I don't think I've ever seen that.
What does that 0% mean? I've never seen that before.
I'm not 100% sure. I think that's evaporation.
Bring your own rain?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And I want everyone all around the world that's watching this to know as well that these are the conditions every single year. So if you're looking to run a personal best, if someone asks you to run the Morton Games, go, yeah, 31 degrees, incredible.
Absolutely. We see the lineup there for the women's international high jump, which is just taking place down the far end on the right hand side of your screen. It's at the top end of the stadium. We've got a couple of Irish in there, Tara O'Connor and Aoife O'Sullivan, and a host of other international athletes lining up in that one. So it'll be, as I said, we've got three field events underway, but our track action is going to get underway straight away with the T34 and T54 Internationals women's wheelchair race.
Yeah, this one we've got Yasmin Hodgkinson, Erin O'Flaherty, Fabian Andre, Shauna Bouquet, Hannah Cockcroft and Niamh Curry. I suppose the one to watch there, Hannah Cockcroft, 9-time Paralympic gold medalist and 13 World Championship golds. And Ger had to clarify this to me earlier. That's 9 Paralympic golds over different events in the same Olympics, not 9 consecutive Olympics, because that's a lot of Olympics.
Hey, who knows? She could keep going. She's certainly absolutely a well-medalled athlete, as you would say, but certainly a star of the Paralympic scene. It's great to have her on Irish soil here, and as I said, Shauna Bouquet there, just 20 years of age, the young Irish athlete, the sole Irish entrant in this one, and she has been setting PBs across all distances from 100 metres right up to 1500 and 3k. And here we have our women's high jumpers.
That's Aoife O'Sullivan there. She's in a PB of 181, so she's going pretty early doors. That's up the far end, the North County Dublin end of the stadium, so it's bathed in sunlight at the moment, but she's going to one of our early athletes, last year's champion Urta Bachaitska from Lithuania, of a PB of 192, so very high standard. Yeah,
absolutely. I would try and get an update on those the heights of those jumps as well, but here we have Hannah Lake. She is taking her opening attempt and she goes clear. The Welsh athlete, Welsh champion. The live results, if you pop onto the Morton Games website, you'll be able to find those, or else if you want to do a bit of typing, you can go with live.athleticsIreland.ie/Morton/menu.html. I think just Google Morton Games, scroll down, you'll find a link to those live results, in particular for the field events, and you'll be able to keep right up to speed with that high jump, the men's shot put, and the women's discus, which are all underway here, bathed in sunshine, as you say, in Morton Stadium.
Yeah, I suppose the battle in this wheelchair 800 Ger is between Hannah Cockcroft and Shauna Bouquet. 144.43 for Hannah and 148 for Shauna. They're their personal best. So Shauna a little bit behind at the moment, but as you said, young athlete, and when an athlete that young is setting PBs, the sky is the limit, really.
Absolutely, yeah, Crockwell athlete, and to be lining up next to someone that has achieved so much in your sport and your event must be amazing. It's the second time they've raced this week. They were head-to-head in Cork earlier this week, just a couple of days ago, so it's great to have another great international field here once again, and we are called to our marks in this wheelchair 800 metres.
Yeah, so lane 5 there is Hannah Cockcroft, and lane 4 is Shauna. So they're the two athletes to watch in the white and black outfits out in their outer lanes. You can see they're flying away in these first 100 metres here. The two athletes are locked together, and they'll start to put in now as we come into the back straight. But it is Cockcroft and Bouquet storming into the back straight here.
Yeah, geez, it is really tight here. I think Shauna Bouquet is just going to do the sensible thing and let the experienced Hannah Cockcroft put in front of her and maybe draft off her a little bit around that first bend. But as you said, they are away and clear as it is from the rest of the field. The two athletes with the faster PBs, and Cockcroft, that super talented British athlete, is away. Opened up a gap now on Bouquet. She goes through the 300 metre mark in around 45 seconds. So we're going to look at, obviously, as the laps go on, the pace will pick up, but that last 150 metres is going to be a lot of lactic too. But come through the bow in about 55 seconds, so we could be looking at another down towards 150 or sub running.
You can see that Shauna Bouquet is struggling a little bit there to keep that pace, but what an athlete to be chasing down here over this last 300 metres. An incredible shot here. And Fabienne Andre there of Great Britain, 2:01 personal best. The 2021 European Para-Gold champion is entering into the back straight there. She's in third, but it is Cockcroft with 200 metres left to go, and Bouquet in second. These are two athletes we were discussing beforehand, and yes, absolutely straight ahead is Cockcroft. 150 metres left to go. The 9-time Paralympic champion enters into the home straight. Yeah,
it's going to be quick as well. She's coming up on the 140, 137 mark there with 100 metres to go, so she is pumping the arms there. I'm sure they're starting to fill with lactic, and as is Shauna Bouquet in behind her. She's got 100 metres to go now, so clock, we're going to be just outside that 150 mark, but there's no doubt in our winner here at the Morton Games. 150.83 for Hannah Cockcroft. Another fantastic performance at the Morton Games. Shauna Bouquet comes through for around 157, and we still have Fabienne Andre coming into the home straight here in that, holding on to that third position.
Yeah, and Andre was close enough to her personal best in the end, just a couple of seconds outside it, so good performance there from the British athlete. And we have, entering into the home straight here, with 3 remaining athletes who are tearing up the last 50 metres.
Yeah, we're just trying to get a glimpse of who we've got coming in for fourth. There's a bit of a wind there now up that home straight, which they won't be happy about. That's Yasmin Hodgkinson coming through for fourth, and Shauna, that was number 2, Niamh Curry coming through for fourth, and Erin O'Flaherty in fifth.
And Yasmin Hodgkinson in 6th then. So yeah, great performance there from Hannah Cockcroft, really putting on a show there to open up the track programme for this evening. And what a way to do it.
Yeah, Shauna Bouquet has been on the Diamond League circuit, of course, this year as well, Ronan. She's been all around the world. She was at that Eugene Diamond League, and she was 5th in that one. So we'll just see the replay here of our winner coming to the home straight, absolutely flying it. That is Hannah Cockcroft of Great Britain, as I said, 9 Olympic golds. So what can you do with that? She is an absolute champion, and she showed her class here on the track here in Morton Stadium in the sunshine.
Certainly, and what an incredible achievement for Shauna Bouquet to be taking on such an incredible athlete at such a young age, 18 years of age, her whole career ahead of her, and she's only going to get quicker and quicker. And I'd say there's going to be a few bits of advice shared between those two athletes on the cool down.
Big time, yeah. So we'll, as I said, for anybody at this meet, there was some younger races in the pre-program, junior athletes running miles, we had kids running relays, and you get to warm up and experience what it's like to be alongside those top class athletes as we cut over to the women's high jump. That is our Australian athlete, Emily Whelan. Annie Stapleton, in fact, sorry, that is 1m70. So she gives a little bit of a shake of the shoulders on the way back. She's not too sure, but she will be going again. See, flags are blowing there on the centre of your shot on the home straight. So certainly our 100 metre sprinters and our 100 metre hurdlers will be hoping that dies down, or at least turns around in their favour. Here is, as we said, a couple of jumpers have gone clear so far. Hannah Lake, Julia DeMarchi and Tara O'Connor. We do have a very international field with Chumachenko, Fikete, Ballet, Stapleton and Bike Skyta, last year's champion in there, and indeed 2023 champion. So she's looking for 3 in a row here.
3-peat as it's known.
Absolutely.
But as you're saying, Jared, the 100 metres athletes, they'll be wondering whether Noel Guyton, the meet director here, has done a deal with the devil to get such weather, you know, and hopefully the wind will die down. It's not too windy, but there is a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, absolutely. Here in Morton Stadium, the wind tends to be on the back straight most of the year. You just see there's Aoife O'Sullivan. High jump runway. But we generally here in Morton Stadium can just see that full lineup again there running. We got as far as the men's 800 in our early roundup of the action, so what are we looking forward to after that?
So you get the men's 5k then come up, and there's a brilliant field in that as well. In fact, all those distance races are going to be an incredible finish denouement to the evening. That 5k has got a lot of really good athletes. Irish interest in particular. You've got Brian Fay, Cormac Dalton, you've got the likes of Jack Bruce, Sebastian Fry in there as well. You've got Moen from Norway, so an incredible field that we're hoping to see some really good results out of that one later on. And obviously the men's mile, always something to look forward to.
Yeah, big time. It's going to be absolutely rapid, I think, if the conditions stay as they are, which they're due to. It's going to be perfect for that UPMC men's Morton Mile.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously we had the Cork City Sports during the weekend. Got the winner of that back up, Marco Langdon, back up after winning that. I believe he was waving to the crowd down there and may have hurt his ankle, so we'll see whether or not he's going to roll with as much speed in this event tonight. But a lot of really good Irish athletes in that. Andrew Coskren in there, Nick Briggs in there as well, so great Irish interest in all the races, but also and really high quality Irish interest as well, but really high quality international interest.
Absolutely, yeah. That men's mile with Andrew Coskren going 3:49 indoors to break Eamon Coughlin's national record. He's going to be certainly one to watch when he goes head to head with Cathal Doyle, last year's champion, and a host of international class athletes. But that men's 100 metres is going to kick off next. We've got our first race up with a domestic field. The athletics there for 100 metres: Anthony Dillon, Jesse Osas, Alamin Bancole, Bilal Kanamoto, and Raekwon Luciano in this one. So we're looking at mostly 10 mid guys in this one, 10 5s, 10 6s. So we'll see how they go. It's great to get an opportunity for them to get a run out here at this Morton Games. As we pop back over to the high jump, and we have Julia DeMarschi. Should be going for her second height, which I'd imagine is indeed 175, and she goes easily clear of that. Hannah Lake has already gone clear, as has Annie Stapleton, Tara O'Connor and Aoife O'Sullivan, with one mark against them at that height so far.
Yeah, and obviously getting in what is a reasonable height for those athletes. Most of those athletes with PBs in around 180, 185, so we're starting at an early height, a height they can all achieve, but as they get up toward the late 170s, it's going to get pretty dicey for a lot of those high jump athletes. Men's 100 metres on the line. Yeah,
you can see from the right of your shot there, we've got Anthony Dillon, Jesse Osas, Alamin Bancole, Bilal Kanamoto, and Raekwon Luciano lined up for this one. Just 5 athletes in the middle of the field. It'll look quite empty out there because it's a 10 lane track here, so we will have I think we might have 10 women in the 100 metre hurdles later, which would be great. It's always a spectacle when all the hurdles are stacked out in track, and if you're going to have 10 lanes you'll have 100 hurdles out there, it'll be a busy home straight here in Morton Stadium.
I think your hurdles bias is showing there, Jerry, you know?
Absolutely, I just want more hurdles on the track at all times. Big time. So Jesse Osas is back down to the 10.5s in the blue and white singlet there, second from the right. It's a great view of all these men preparing to get into the blocks, but he took the national under 20 championships here in Ireland just last weekend, and he's back in towards his national under 18 record best of 10.51. So let's see what he can do here. Alamin Bancole there, the under 23 athlete in the middle of Finn Galligan's AC, another local man to this track, trains here regularly. So who's going to take down this first home straight action here running? The wind, will it play ball? We'll get a good indication for those later races. and we are cleanly away. It looks like Osas has got a very good start, but imagine Bancole will come back at him strongly as well. But on the outside, Luciano's going very, very well. Can he hold off the man from Ratoath? But it is indeed Jesse Osas. 10.67, 0.2 meters per second wind following. Seems to be kind of blowing in towards us in the commentary box on the home straight here, so maybe a little bit of a crosswind there, but didn't affect those men too much. Not too far outside season's best for most of them, so that's signs are good for this. I suppose the A race, the international race, which is coming up in about 5 or 6 minutes time as well, Ronan. Just get a replay of that one. So we can see here on the outside to your very left, Luciano there, a little bit more sluggish out of the blocks, as was Bancole in the middle, but Jesse Osas took it from the gun and decided, I'm not giving up. Luciano tried his best there to get back at him in the middle of the race, closed that gap nicely, as did Bancole. He was coming strongly. In fact, Luciano, I think, might have just got that on the line when we see the official result. He did come through very, very nicely there on the left hand side of the shot in lane 7. Osas is trying hard, and Bancole is storming through there in the middle.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Bancole is a type athlete that might go well over 200 metres as well. He finished strongly there.
Yeah, he has gone to 10.6s so far this year, but we'll bring up that wheelchair result in the meantime. We'll get the photo finish, separate those. But Hannah Cockcroft, as I said, 150.94. Stormed away at that one from a great performance from Shauna Bouquet, 157.32. And Fabienne Andre will be on the podium with that 211.38. And I see medals down there, Ronan. I think somebody's stolen an idea from Cork City Sports earlier in the week, so who knows, as we always like to slag off Cork City Sports for their medals, but it brings the athletes great entertainment. You don't get a medal too often at a senior competition, so let's see if it's just for the winners or the top 3 will get indeed a ribbon around their necks.
Or even like one of those trophies you'd get at school sports. I think it's probably appropriate as well.
Plaque.
Yeah. Most improved, third place.
A little bit of marble with a little placard on it. Yeah. Hopefully, something, anything.
Exactly, yeah. A bouquet of flowers for
something
Shauna.
to add a couple of kilos to a suitcase that has to go back to Australia in a few weeks' time, or the likes. So they'll be delighted with it.
So I suppose you're looking at this stadium record here, 10.12. Johan Blake. That's obviously a name that many people will know. Incredible athlete. Is it likely to go on an evening like this evening?
Depends, yeah. Like that wind is kind of, it could potentially play ball if it could get a nice, +1, +1.5, but that slight tailwind that they got for that previous race, if that can just turn slightly, then we could be in serious business. But we do have men who are well capable of running that, and I suppose this year especially Christopher Borzo has gone 10.12 himself, 10.13 in fact, and Israel Otunde, of course, that national record of 10.12 last year. We've got a lot of men who've ran 10.1. OJ DeBoran had his best as a 10.04 guy. That's a couple of years ago now, but he has gone 10.14 over in England just a couple of weeks ago. So we will have to see, but it's going to take an athlete at their very, very best to get near it. But look, conditions are perfect, temperature-wise especially. With the tailwind and the competition, the level of competition might just push somebody on here to do something special.
Yeah, especially as it seems like quite an even field across the board in terms of season's best and personal best. So you'd hopefully look at the potential for a meet record, and if it is Israel Olatunde who gets that meet record, he'll also break the Irish record of 10.12. So it's not a bad evening all round if he does that.
Let's push for that. There is the result of that first 100-meter race. We do have a tie in the lead for 10.66 for both Jesse Osas and Raekwon Luciano, and Alamin Bancole 10.73 in third. Bilal Kanemoto, I think that's equal PB for him with 10.85. Nancy Dillon 11.19.
Yeah, 10.66, famously Battle of Hastings.
Indeed, yeah. Don't know what it is, but another date. You're speaking of meet records, Ronan, and we're also looking at stadium records here and Irish all-comers records, in fact, and there's a couple of them that are going to be under serious threat here this evening, especially I think both 400 metres in particular. But we did have I think 4 or 5 last year at this very meet to break the stadium record. And for those of you who know this place well, the stadium has been standing for a long time. So there's a couple of those that may stay another year or two, but it's a couple under serious threat as well.
Yeah, there's certainly a couple from back in the day that are look like they're pretty safe, but then there's a few from recent years that could be toppled, and certainly some all-comers records that could be toppled as well. Sydney Marie's 3:49 all-comers record set in the Mardic Cork, potentially under a bit of threat as well.
It's certainly within the wheelhouse of Andrew Coster, and of course in that field he does have that on his mark from indoors this year, but whether he fancies the win or the time, but certainly the meet record, stadium record, that 3:51 of Will Lear, I think that's due for revision. It's 11 years old now at this stage, so there's a lot of guys in that field who are capable of running that quick. It was just missed last year and the year before, so even domestically you've got also like the likes of Brian Fay in there as well, Darren McElhinney, Nick Griggs. We're just naming the Irish athletes in that mile for now, but I mean it's really, really stacked from top to bottom.
Yes, but Will Lear could live on for another year. He's been hanging on by his fingertips for the last year. So I remember that night, great night, similar to tonight actually in terms of the weather.
It was indeed, yeah. We were here, and it just shows what quality that is. A 3:51 mile is still a 3:51 mile.
Yeah.
It's never a guarantee, no matter what someone's PB is, that you got to go out and run it. And there is also the prestige of taking that trophy home. So we've seen how thrilled Cathal Doyle was to take that last year. And 3 years ago, himself and Andrew Cosker with that massive battle down the home straight, and a dip and a fall, and I think maybe a fractured collarbone for Cathal Doyle, but had to settle for second place on that occasion. But you see Fatima Bali there in the high jump. She's gone over 185 already this week down at Cork. She's giving herself some positive affirmations on the runway. We'll see what the bar is currently set at.
So we're at 175 was the most recent. We had Tara O'Connor going out of that. This is Aoife O'Sullivan, I think.
It is indeed, yeah. So that must be 180, I'd imagine now. Her kind of first attempt. Should we go over at 175 at the second attempt?
So it's really getting to that. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle for a couple of those athletes getting up to that 180. A lot of PBs sitting around 181, 182. So it's really on the rivet, as Sean Kelly would say for them.
Conditions are quite good though here. So again, once the wind doesn't interfere mid-jump, you see Hannah Lake is on the runway. She goes easily clear in at 180, so she'll be happy with that. It's a nice first-time clearance. And you just see Israel Olatunde. He gets a huge roar from the crowd. He is Ireland's fastest man in history. 10:12 last year, and he gets a raucous roar. He goes in lane 3. Christopher Borzo of Haiti, the national record holder, set this year. He goes beside him, based in the States. Olympian last year in that 100 metres. Oji Edaboron, he was a couple of years ago now, but under 23 champion over 100 metres. He's 10:04 at his very best, but he was back down to 10:1s. Ian Kerr, a man we see in Ireland every year quite often. Great to see him back up here again. He has gone 10:14s, more of a 200 being a specialist of those. With that appearance at the Paris Olympics last year. He did 20:33 in Ireland last year. In fact, we've got Joseph Ayawade beside him. Then we've got Kojo Musa there, number 3 on your list. Luca Logue Fonseca, number 15 on his chest there, the Clonliffe Harrier. And Joseph Ojewumi on the left of your screen, another Irish international athlete who has been part of the relay setup in particular for many, many years here. And that, of course, Irish relay record has gone twice in the last couple of weeks. Israel Olatunde running both of those record-breaking runs. But it's going to be a big battle on here to see who can get to the line first of all, and then we'll worry about the clock after that. There's a great race coming right up here. From the right to left of your screen, Michael Farley is another man who's on that relay record-breaking team with Olatunde. He's got Ibe Takeda beside him. He's a man in good form. He's run a lot of races already this year, though. Israel Olatunde is next in lane 3. Borzo beside him, Oduboran, Kerr, Ayawade, Musa, Fonseca, and Ojewumi. Irish eyes will be on lanes 1 and 3 in particular. There in the red, Israel Olatunde does it out to a very, very good start. What can he do here? He's got Borzo beside him. He's got Ian Kerr trying to push through, but Israel Olatunde is going to come through and take this. If he can hold on, he's having a great run here, and he does in fact take it. 10:21 on the clock. And he roars away around the stadium to adoring fans. He is back in business. 10.21 has been corrected to. The wind is above the legal limit, so it's a 2.3, but above anything, these lads love running fast and love racing, so that was a fantastic race there from Israel Olatunde. 10:20, in fact, it just keeps coming down, Ronan.
Well, let's just look away for a few more seconds, see how it goes.
Let's see what the wind changes as well, maybe. But yeah, 10:20, you can see there on your clock for Israel Olatunde. He got the hair into the braids in the last week or two. He said he's feeling more aerodynamic now, but see him there on the right of your screen. once the gun went, he was out well, and he was not giving up that lead. Takeda there beside him had a good start too. He is a former Japanese 60-meter champion, and it looks like beside Olatunde there, Christopher Borzor did get up for the second spot, the Haitian in the white singlet, but there was no doubt in the winner from start to finish. Ronan, just see that head-on shot.
I would say it was over after 20 metres, and he absolutely strode away then, and it got further and further away, and the crowd goes absolutely wild here. Went wild when he finished, and he's now making his way up the home straight, and the crowd are going absolutely insane for Israel Olatunde here, the first Irish champion of the night here at the Morton Games, and he's just gone wild into the crowd, and Israel is getting a huge amount of applause and adoration here from all the fans.
Yeah, it's great to see him going over with a real aggressive approach towards his fans in the stadium. I think it's a really delicate fist bump at the end of it, but he is a gentleman on and off the track, and it's a great performance to get an Irish win there in such a class international field up against Olympians in the 100 metres and 200 metres. He is the Irish record holder for a reason. 10-2-0. He gets a nice congratulations from the officials here. He'll be heading towards the podium. Great to see him, Ronan, as you said, he moved over to the States this year. He's in the same training group as Noah Lyles now, and that transition looked a little hairy during the indoor season as he adjusted to everything, a new life, new approach, new setup abroad. But now as he comes in, he's back home for the last couple of weeks. Adjusted to the travel, and he's getting racing in the legs. He set national records in both the relay on 2 occasions, and now back into the 10.2s. He ran 10.23 in England for a season's best recently as well. And 10.20, the fastest he's gone this year in all conditions. He gets a big novelty check.
Yeah, and it looks like there's no actual money written on that, so can he add in his own? Blank
check, I think. He can do what he wants with it. See the packed stand here. They'll be happy of the shade here today, Ronan. Normally when it comes to 7-8 o'clock here in the stadium, it gets a bit chilly in the shade.
We'll hand you over to Will here. He's going to chat to Israel.
Well, it's the men's 100 metres. And of course, who has well, go again, once more. We just had the men's 100 metres. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by the winner of that, Ireland's fastest man, Israel Olatunde. Israel, that was some race. Talk us through it. A season's best time, I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit windy, but still my fastest time of the season. I just love running at home. It's so fun. This is what the sport's all about. Coming out here, having fun, getting the crowd involved. It's just a lovely race.
You're based in Florida now. How's training been going and the change?
It's been great. It's such a change for me, but I have such a great coach, great training partners who help push me on, who teach me so much. I'm training with the fastest guys in the world, so it's a pleasure and I'm really enjoying it.
And listen, there were some fast guys in that race. Lots of guys in around the 10-second mark, and you're now there among them. Is there a new confidence in Israel Olatunde?
I feel like it's always been there, but it's just great to. That's why I love coming to Morton Games and racing in Ireland at these meets, because there's always great competition. But also I have the crowd on my side, so I have an advantage. So that's why I love coming out here and putting on the show.
And listen, it certainly was a show. The crowd loved it too. I know it's a big build-up, but we have to ask you about the end of the season, the World Championships. Is that now full steam ahead towards that? Is that the big aim for 2025?
My goal is just to be the best athlete I can be, and I know I'm a World Championship caliber athlete, so that's definitely my goal.
Israel, we can't wait to see you run again. That was an amazing, incredible one. We'll see you soon, and best of luck for the World Championships. Guys, that was Israel Olatunde, Ireland's fastest man, taking the 100 metres. Back to you up in the commentary position.
Yeah, great to hear from Israel Olatunde there. That said, it's great to be back racing on Irish soil, and another huge crowd here as well. So he'll be looking forward to the Irish National Championships in a couple of weeks' time, but got a nice taste of what that's going to feel like in front of this crowd this evening.
Yeah, an incredible run there from Israel Olatunde, and not only is he getting faster running with Noah Lyles, he's also becoming more of a showman. So the crowd loving him here this evening, and as you said, national seniors in a couple of weeks' time. We get to see Israel out running again on this track, but incredible performance there. More to come.
Exactly. If you're sitting at home watching the stream here tonight, you have good encouragement to come out here in a couple of weeks, 2nd and 3rd of August, to catch Israel Olatunde, be challenged by the likes of Boriak and Ola in that men's 100 metres and see 10.20 for the win. Christopher Borzor there, the Haitian, 10.28, and Kojo Musa got up for 3rd. in 10:31, Danish 60-meter record holder from Takeda.
A really strong field there, and you're hoping to see plenty more results, plenty more Irish winners hopefully in those international fields as the evening progresses. Men's shot put up here now: Callum Keating, Liam Shaw, Yefet Bogle, Stefan Wyland, Victor Garadakis, Tadis Kwashaiga, Antonius Lapperviliada, Nick Palmer, John Kelly and Simon Mazur. Big field.
Really strong field here, and we're going to have a second page as well, I think. Maybe not. Eric Favors is going to be the man to beat in this one. I think he has the strongest PB, or certainly in the man in the best form. But you see John Kelly, Simon Mazur and Eric Favors there rounding it out. But it will be the Irish record holder, I think. He threw towards 20 metres just during the week, 1981 I think it was, down at Cork. So he's in good shape and good form, and he's going to be looking to, of course this is the European Athletics Continental Tour bronze meet as well. So we're going to be looking for bonus points for these men too. And a big win, big throw plus bonus points means better positions for Tokyo. Potential qualification, we'll see the discus throw results. It's ongoing, of course. You can keep an eye on those results on those links. Hop onto the Morton Games website to find that. But Stefania Stromillo out front with 58.09. Niamh Fogarty sitting down at fifth there at 54.99. She has broken the Irish national record this year in the shot put, so she'll try and push out towards that, and if she does, she's going to be approaching the podium or into the lead. Just 2 throws gone so far in that one, and Stromillo out to 58.09 with her first throw, and lots more to go, 4 more rounds.
I suppose Jared just going to give us an idea of the idea around the World Continental Tour bronze meet and how those bonus points and all that kind of stuff. How does that work for these guys going towards Tokyo in terms of the World Championships?
Yeah, so I suppose it's for those of you not too familiar with it, and you're better off if you're not, because it's a headache. But we'll just go through this roundup of the lineup. The 100-meter hurdles are up next from Davy. We've got Orla Mannion and Molly Scott, 2 Irish athletes on the inside 2 lanes, in 1 and 2. We've got Danielle Shaw, the Australian, goes in 3. Irina Budzinska goes in 4. Selina Wojciechowski in 5. The Swiss athlete Diana Suman in 6. Marley Jessup in 7. Arabella Adekoya in 8, and in lane 9 Sarah Quinn. So we've got a number of Irish champions across 60 metres, 100 metres, 100-metre hurdles, and under 20, under 23 hurdle champions just from last weekend, all in this one, as well as a very strong international field. Nick Shaw is the only one to have gone sub 13, the Australian silver at the Australian Championships this year. Wojciechowski had a great run down at Cork 2 nights ago, just picked on the line by Abigail Paul out of Great Britain. But we will have, let's see if that's one of our Australian high jumpers back on the runway. That is in fact Annie Stapleton. She's going for 181 here at the bars now, so it was 178 that previous attempt for all the athletes that we said that went clear, so the previous shots that we had. Stapleton is on the runway. She has gone over 185 just this week, and she goes clear 181 this time around, so happy days for her. Again, conditions are good for jumping. If those winds die down, it's going to be like a bit of a pole vault setup. Wait for the wind to drop a little bit and then go. They do have the little wind sock is up there at the pole runway, which is alongside that high jump. You see the deck chairs are there behind the stadium, behind the high jump. But just on those bonus points, Ronan. So it's performance plus placing basically gives you a point scoring, but the higher you are up, and the higher the tour is, so gold, silver or bronze, the more points those placings provide. So if it likes Eric Favors a win here today, I'll give him 60 bonus points, which will be worth an extra couple of centimetres essentially. Just a failure there for Julia Demarchi. She has a clean card so far, that's her first knock. But back over to this women's 100-metre hurdles. I said this intro in there, Orla Mannion, the under 20 Irish champion. Beside her is Molly Scott, who had a great run in Cork just earlier this week. She is a former Irish 60-metre record holder on the flat. Danielle Shaw, the Australian silver medalist, there in number 9 to the right. Irina Budzinska, the Ukrainian, 13.09 at her best. And watch out for Selina Wojciechowski here in the sleeves. She will be out like a rocket, and see can she hold on this time around. The Swiss athlete Diana Suman is I think a 20-time national champion, the Estonian, but he's competed indoors and outdoors at the European and World Indoor Championships this year. Marley Jessup, the young athlete from Great Britain. Arabella Adekoya is the Irish under 23 champion. this year with number 3 on her bib, and Sarah Quinn is a former Irish champion over both 60 and 100 metre hurdles. So she's getting back into good form here now, and great to see.
And I suppose we're looking really at those middle lanes. You've got athletes like Danielle Shaw there with that 12.98, and then all the way back in those middle lanes then to Diana Suman with 13.07. So it's a good mix of athletes in and around the same level.
Big time, yeah. And of course in the hurdles are there for a reason, to slow you down. So let's see what happens here. It's never always plain sailing for the hurdles events, but as you said, the sprint events tend to be lined up with the middle lanes, the athletes in the best form. So let's see how that pans out. Shaw with the fastest PB there, 3rd from the right, the Australian. Budzinska beside her, and Wojciechowski. Can they give her a real good race? And we are cleanly red. Molly Scott is out there very well in lane 2. She's pretty first over the first hurdle. Budzinska is going very well beside Shaw. Shaw's a bit of work to do. Wojciechowski going very well, as is Danielle Suman, and it looks like Suman is going to come through. It's going to be very, very close on the line, and Suman's going to hold on just from Danielle Shaw, I think, sneaking up in lane 3, and Wojciechowski possibly beaten down to 3rd, but a great performance there. 13.12 is on the clock. I think it was indeed Diana Suman who got it in 13.11 corrected to on our infield clock. That on the shot there is just showing Danielle Shaw, who I think possibly got up for 2nd place. You see a big crowd on the hill here on the grass enjoying those performances. And just it was Selena Wojciechowski got up for the 2nd spot on the dip from Danielle Shaw. So just see the replay here, and Suman, Deep Jessup there, 3rd from the left, got out very, very well. And Diana Suman was kind of controlling it from the gun. Shaw and Wojciechowski really pushing back towards the last hurdle. She had a nice gap off that last hurdle and really closed very, very well. And Wojciechowski with a nice smooth run off it too, so that head-on shot. Can't see Marley Jessup probably was first over that first hurdle, 3rd from the left, but see Wojciechowski and Suman were neck and neck there all the way through. Danielle Shaw started to move away from the athletes either side of her. She had a bit of space to focus on her own run, but couldn't quite get there in the end. 13.11 for Suman, 13.18 for Wojciechowski, and Danielle Shaw 13.20. 0.9 win, so legal clocking. So good legal performances there for all the athletes in that one.
And the wind's dying down as requested as the evening progresses. And you can see shots of the crowd there, more and more people streaming in as the evening progresses. Next we're going to have the men's 400 metre sprint, then the women's 400, the 1-lap tango as my colleague called it on the news earlier. Watch that back. And then we also have the 2-lap tango over 800 metres at 8 o'clock, and then the women's directly after that, followed by the 5k, 12.5 laps of pure misery and pain, and then we have the women's 1500 metres.
That's just for me watching it.
And then finishing off with the Morton Mile. And we have Suman collecting her novelty check. Just always reminds me of Happy Gilmore and wanting the checks into the back of the car. Congratulations to her.
Absolutely great performance there. And you have the results of that Davy women's 100 metre hurdles. So Diana Suman, the Estonian, 13.11 for the win from Selena Wojciechowski, the Swiss athlete, 13.18, and Danielle Shaw from Australia with 13.20.
Yeah, an incredibly tight race there across the board, and a lot of really high quality athletes. And Shaw there, the favourite, getting pipped then out to 3rd as well, so a bit of an upset.
Yeah, I suppose getting used to her European tour, I suppose, so far, the Australian silver medalist. But we are going to pop down to our 100 metre hurdle winner is down trackside with Will. We'll get a chat with her very, very soon. Diana Suman, the Estonian. See some good performances from the Irish athletes in that one as well, getting ready for the national championships. And we have Will trackside with our champion.
Well, joining me now is the winner of the women's 100 metre hurdles, Diana Suman from Estonia. Diana, congratulations, a fantastic win. Are you happy with the race?
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased. It's my season best, not far away from my personal best, so I'm very, very, very happy.
That big mark is the 13-second mark. Do you think you're getting closer and closer to getting sub 13?
Yeah, tell me about it. I have been chasing that for years. I really, really, really hope that this year I'm gonna conquer it.
Were you expecting these conditions in Dublin?
Seriously? No, but last week I watched the weather forecast, and it was superb. And I am so happy.
And listen, finally then, what is the plan for the rest of the season? Are you aiming for the World Championships? Is that a
Yeah, I
possibility?
would like to go and getting that PB and getting that 12 seconds.
Dana, I'm sure we'll see you go sub 13 soon, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Lots more action on the track. Let's head back to the commentary team.
Yeah, great to hear there from Diana Suman there, the Estonian winner of our 100 metre hurdles. So up next on track we have the Loki Sports men's 400 metres. We have got Hugo McGee, Chris O'Donnell, Alexander Porharuka, Eliane Larakina, Mohamed Abdullah Kunta, Terrell Thorne and Conor Kelly running up in this one. I see an absentee from the Irish perspective of Jack Raftery here, Ronan, but we are going to look at most likely a sub 45 second clocking here if these men are on form, and it's Larahina and Poroshenko of Ukraine have both gone well below that 45 second mark, and if they do, that would be a stadium record and an all-comers record.
Exactly, Brian Gregan with the meet record 45.26, and of course Malherbe of South Africa then in 2000 with that stadium record 45.25. So that sub 45 is serious clocking on our side.
Yeah, we just saw Nick Palmer there taking a throw to New Zealander in shot put. That was his first attempt. John Kelly is next up into the circle, another Irishman, as well as the national record holder Eric Favors, who has gone over 20 metres.
Yeah, Nick Palmer with a PB of 20.07, so certainly putting a bit of pressure on Eric Favors. Big throw there from John Kelly, and around kind of 18.5 metres or so. John Kelly there, which is decent throwing. He's PB, of course, 2016, but the season's best of 18.25. You can see here on screen Tadeusz Pachaka is leading this one at the moment, 18.40, but Nick Palmer certainly capable of throwing that far, and Favors and Mazur still to go. Mazur about to come shortly.
See, the bar goes down from
Last year's
Fedor
champ.
Fekete. Yeah. So, oh, that's Urta Baskaita, rather. Apologies. He said last year's champion and the year before. So, bar is at 181 for Urta Baskaita, the Lithuanian. So that'll be her first failure. She skipped the previous height of 178. She'll be back for round two.
Yeah, this is Simon Mazur, the athlete from Poland with a 2018 personal best, so close enough to that 19 metres there, I'd say, but 18.91 I would say he threw there, so it would be a seasonal best for him. High jump here, Chomachenko from Ukraine. PB of 194, 2018 World University champ, but not the champ today in this one so far.
That'll be her first attempt and knock at 181. As we look at that men's 400 metre lineup once again, so Hugo McGee goes in lane 2 now. He's been moved out of lane. Chris O'Donnell, part of the European champions team of the mixed 4x4 in Rome last year, two-time Olympian. Alexander Porharuka is a man coming into the form of his life, or is already there perhaps, but he's had a breakthrough this season. Ukrainian national record 44.81 at the European Team Champs in Madrid, just behind Sam Reardon a couple of weeks ago, and he's got it all to play for up against Eliane Larakina of Argentina. He's another man in national record breaking form, 44.67. He had another sub 45 second clocking just last week, so those two really are going to be the men to take this one on. Mohamed Abdullah Kunta has a great PB of a 45.0 as well, but not quite in that form just yet. He's 46.00 so far this year, but it's going to be a real cracker of a race here. Conor Kelly on the outside is just 17 years of age, and inside him Terrell Thorne, the Australian, just 18 years of age. He's the Australian vice champion, in second place at those Australian Championships earlier this year in 45.5. So if he can keep up that kind of form, he's going to be right up in it this year, or in this race in fact. Conor Kelly is the national indoor champion for Ireland as well at just 17 years of age. He'll be pushing towards European under-20s later on this summer. 46.06 already this year for that under-20 national record. So we can see that full lineup there from left to right. We have got McGee, O'Donnell, We've got Parahilco, Larahina, Abdullah Kunta, Thorne and Conor Kelly. The Frenchman just gives a wave to the crowd in his full French kit. There's Chris O'Donnell, number 3 behind him in his Sligo AC, his North Sligo AC vest. He is a 2-time Olympian for Ireland in the 4x4 relays mixed and European champion last year in that 4x400 metres. His gold medal teammate will be up next in that women's 400 as well, Charlene Mosley, but for now he's got it all up against him with the men outside him. Parahilco in the black vest, Ukrainian, and Larahina with number 5 behind him, the Argentinian record holder. The backwards cap on, it's glued on, it never comes off. What can he do here? We're looking for a sub 45 clock, but who's going to take those podium places? McGee, O'Donnell, Parahilco, Larahina, Abdullah Kunta, Thorne and Kelly. Tension is building. And we are cleanly away. First time of accident. Larahina is out very, very well. Parahilco at those team champs kind of chilled the first half of the race. He's doing something similar again. Chris O'Donnell is trying to get up on him there from lane 3, but it is Larahina on the back straight is streaking up towards Abdullah Kunta on the outside. Conor Kelly is going very, very strongly. He is a very fast athlete. He's run 10.6 in the 100 metres this year, but Larahina, as we look through the 200 metre mark, is moving his way up through the field. He's closing down the stagger on everyone. And Conor Kelly on the outside is having a very, very strong run here. Let's see what he can do in the last 100 metres, but there's no doubting at the minute who is in front. It is Eliane Larahina, but look at Parahilco coming through there in the black vest. He's a little bit ragged, but he is strong. And Abdullah Kunta is having the race of his season. What can he do here? Can he get up towards the winner? But it is going to be Eliane Larahina. Look at the clock, 45.10. That is a new stadium record for Eliane Larahina, the Argentinian. What a run, the fastest run we've ever seen here in Morton Stadium. That is absolutely fantastic performance. Indeed, I think it is an all-comers record. We've never seen faster on Irish soil. A brilliant, brilliant run for the Argentinian, the man with the backwards cap. Abdullah Kunta there of France will have run a very, very big season's best as well. And indeed, Alexander Parahilco with another strong race, definitely one of his best races, but not quite into the 44s, but 45.10 unofficially on the clock for the Argentinian record holder.
Yeah, it's hard to describe Larahina in any other word than smooth. Smooth looking while running and just while standing around. He's absolutely flying out of the blocks and then just looks so smooth on that back straight. Everyone else is getting ragged. He really only gets ragged getting into that last 80 metres here, and the other athletes start to come back at him. But an incredibly efficient looking runner all the way around.
Yeah, he is tidy. And, he took that one with a bit of ease in the end. I think it looked quite close with 50 metres to go, but he was the man, as you said. He keeps those legs moving smoothly and he takes the title. It's sponsored by Loki Sports.
Just seeing on screen there, the backwards cap looks like it's back in.
It's there for life. It's always on. He's had that on for years and years. It never comes off. Social situations or not, he can sleep with it on. I can only presume with it on. Side race, on his side, keep in position. But no, that was superb. And as I said, we've never seen faster on Irish soil. And a huge run there. And from the Irish perspective, Conor Kelly, 45.85. So he is into the 45s. He's 17-year-old. He doesn't turn 18 until next week. So that'll be another Irish under-20 record for Conor Kelly. Sets him up very, very nicely. He's the fastest in Europe at the moment, one of the fastest in the world at that age group. So a brilliant run for him. But there's no doubt about the winner. There is John Shields, coach to the former stadium record holder Brian Gregan, or meet record holder rather, Brian Gregan. But 45.10, Eliane Larahina, absolutely fantastic. You see a very, very close failure there. Drop onto the mat.
Chumachenko there from Ukraine, then their second failure at that height, so got one more shot. Very, very close on that one. Yeah, just clipped it on the way down. Very unlucky.
181 the bar is at, and I think maybe even looking from some of the times in those 400s, it might be a little bit blustery down there, certainly from the winner and those in the top 2 or 3. But obviously, Conor Kelly, it didn't do him any harm. He stormed around that new personal best, but perhaps just with that high jump as well, the wind having a little bit of interference with them.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, a youth in Conor Kelly running that well, and you always see when someone's coming through at that age and they're starting to run PBs, the sky is the limit. They can make a big jump, especially on an evening like this evening when they get up to the level of these international athletes and are inspired by their surroundings. Great run from Conor Kelly there, fourth in that with 45.85 first round results here, and behind some really high quality athletes in that field. Up next to the women's 400 metres, we see in the shot put there, that is Anastasios Latafari from Greece in 1993, his personal best, two-time national champ. As you see the results here on screen, 45.08, all-comers record, fastest 400 metres ever on Irish soil. Incredible.
Yeah, great run there from Mohamed Abdullah Kunta as well. Big season's best for him, 45.44. And Alexander Porilko, 45.54. And from an Irish perspective, a brilliant run from Conor Kelly, 45.85, a huge run, breaking that 46-second barrier for the first time, 17-year-old, and that Irish under-20 record.
Yeah, incredible running from Conor Kelly, and we're going to hope to have a chat with him at some point over the next while. We got the women's 400 coming up now shortly. Good Irish interest again in this one, Gerard.
Absolutely, yeah. In particular there in lane 4 with Charlene Mausley. Of course, a name very synonymous with 400 metre running in Ireland, in particular the relays. One of the stars of women's and mixed 4x4 teams, fourth at the Olympic Games last year, of course, and she'll be joined on the start line by one of her fellow European silver medalists in that relay, and Lauren Cadden, who ran the heats in Rome last year and picked up that medal. But there's an Olympic silver medalist in between them, and Lisanne de Witt, the Dutch athlete, running in that Olympic final in Paris and picked up a silver medal. She also has world medals, gold amongst them. So she is a top class athlete, as is Hannah Kelly, outsider. She is in great form. The British athlete again, in particular in the relays, has been really part of those British setup. And we're going to go down to Chris O'Donnell, another European champion trackside.
Meters here at the Morton Games, but joining me now is Chris O'Donnell from Team Ireland. Chris, talk to me about that race. 6th place, but it's just about getting back into race mode for you, isn't it? It's been a tough 2025.
Yeah, it was for me. Obviously, it's a very good race, probably the best ever 400 at Morton Games. So it's great to be part of that. Yeah, personally, I've had a very tough year, and this is my first run out individually for over a year in the 400. So I wasn't sure what to expect today. Obviously, I would have liked for it to have clicked, but that was a strong possibility because I haven't done the work. I've been rehabbing more and doing more endurance work. So I needed today to kind of just get back into racing. Obviously, you'd probably like those to be low key. I did it in front of a big crowd here, but it's still great to be here. I wanted to be here, and in the next 2-3 weeks, it's just going to be about getting that race sharpness, because obviously I don't have it at the moment.
And listen, it is just fantastic here. We see the crowds up in the stand and all around. The weather came out tonight as well. Perfect conditions, really, too.
I know, yeah. I think pretty much every time I race here, it's 12 degrees, windy. So it's a big change. It's brilliant night, great crowd, great to be part of. But personally, I will do a lot better, and I need to do a lot better. But it's just getting sharpness now.
And listen, before you go, talk to us about the plan then for the rest of the year. We know Tokyo's coming up. I'm sure that's a bit of a marker for you, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm using these July races to kind of build up, and then hopefully have a good month of August. We got nationals coming up early August. I'd like to be in good shape then, and then after that, we've got 2 or 3 weeks to run the standard for the deadline, end of August. So I'm hopeful of having a good August.
Good stuff, Chris. Fingers crossed for the rest of 2025. We'll see you back out in Morton Stadium very soon. Let's get back to the action.
Great to hear from Chris O'Donnell there, European mixed 4x4 champion. He said just trying to get a season underway over a year since he ran an individual 400 metres, so that'll be the start of it for him this summer, and try and chip away at those times, get himself on a spot on the relay for Tokyo. We just had our women's 400 metre athletes introduced to a huge roar, in particular from lane 4's Charlene Mausley. So from left to right there, and then one Velina Yaroshina of Ukraine, Lauren Cadden, the Sligo athlete, goes in lane 2. Lisanne de Witt, an Olympic silver medalist from last year, goes in 3. Charlene Mausley in for European champion in the mixed 4x4 and silver in the women's 4x4, 4th in that women's 4x4 at the Olympics. Hannah Kelly, a great athlete from Great Britain, from relay and individual perspective. The young Great Britain Tina Manning and her strong Irish relay contender and international athlete Marina Shostak of Ukraine goes in lane 7. On the outside, Karolina Palic of Germany. At her best is a 51-second athlete too, but trying to find that form once again. All eyes would be on lane 4. How fast can Charlene Mosey go? Can she beat this strong international field? She is in the form of her season's best at the team champs a couple of weeks ago. And we're cleanly away. Mosey is out quite strongly. Hannah Kelly going very well as well, pushing up on Tina Manning outside her. Lysandra Witt with a little bit of work to do so far. Lauren Cadden trying to close her down from lane 2, but Mosey looking strong on the outside, or the middle of the track so far. On the outside there, Shostak in the Ukraine singlet is going very strongly too. Tina Manning has a nice target with her on her back. Hannah Kelly closing the gap on Manning, and Mosey now, when it comes to 200, has closed that stagger on all athletes, bars possibly Shostak on the outside. Will start to unfold now, come around to the 250 metre mark, and it is Mosey in that pink. She's going to get a huge roar from the home crowd as she comes around the bend. It's going to be quite quick too. She's looking for that stadium record of 51 seconds. Comes into the home straight, and it's herself and Hannah Kelly outside her going very strongly. And Lysandra Witt is coming back like an absolute train. She's going to go up for the second. Can she go up for a win? No, she can't. It's going to be Charlene Mosey. She dips for the line. 51.62 on the clock, and she is the Morton Games champion for 2025. She takes down the meet record by over a second. In fact, not quite the stadium record, which was 51.28 of Joanne Cuddy from 19 years ago at this stage, but I'd imagine it's definitely windy out there. It's almost a second down on what she ran just a week or two ago at the European Team Championships, but a dominant, strong performance there from Charlene Mosey. Lysandra Witt with a really, really strong finish. She has run a couple of 8s this year and done a lot of pacemaking as well, but certainly has the wheels still. She's got back into the 51s just last week. Bursies about 52.07 unofficially for the Witt, and Hannah Kelly with a 52.53 unofficially in third. You just see coming around the bend here, that is Charlene, of course, coming around well clear of the field at this stage. And just look at lane 3 there. Lysandra Witt is miles back. How she clawed that gap back down to just 0.4 of a second, but Hannah Kelly running strongly as well, holding on for that third spot. But there was no doubting our champion here at the 2025 Morton Games. But another man who's after putting on a show. Conor Kelly is down trackside with Will Dalton.
Conor Kelly joins me after the men's 400 metres. Conor, 4th place and an under 20 Irish record. Congratulations. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was great. There was a lot on this race actually, because I haven't really told anyone, but it's my 18th birthday in a week, and I wanted a 45 when I was 17. I want to be able to say I ran 45 when I was 17, so I'm so happy with this one.
You just seem to continue to grow and keep ticking boxes, setting yourself new goals. What's the next goal? What's coming up over the summer for you?
This summer, definitely Europeans. European under 20s. I'm coming for that gold, to be honest, yeah. I wouldn't be happy with anything but gold.
And what about then looking further ahead? Are you looking to try and nail down a place in the relays?
Yeah. Definitely a possibility. To be honest, once I've got on the 20s out of the way, everything else is a bonus, but after that, I got to make that push to 44.
Conor,
I want to be a 44 runner.
And we have no doubt you will be. We look forward to continue to seeing your progress over the next few months and for the rest of the year. Let's get back to the action now.
Thank you very much.
Good here from Conor Kelly there. Let's just see the results of that Bon Secours Hospital women's 400 metres. Charlene Mosey, a dominant run there, 51.61, take the win from Lysandra Witt, and Hannah Kelly in third. Now she's up another good 52-second clocking from Tina Manning in 5th place. Conor there, Ronan just saying how he really wanted to be a 45-second guy when he was 17. He's 17 for another week, so he ticked that box quite nicely. So
Job done.
He said he can always, for life, as you said, say he ran 45 seconds when he was 17, but hopefully at some stage he'll be saying he ran 44 seconds at an age, and maybe even 43 at some age as well.
Yeah, it's incredible running at just 17. Incredible stuff from Conor Kelly. This is Charlene Mosey here with our check, the blank check again. Yeah. With that 51.61 for her, the meet record. DeWitt really strong over that last 100 metres, but first 50 or 60 looked like she was running 800 rather than the 400.
Yeah, and I said DeWitt is always strong in that second half of the race, and it's testament to why she's so good on those relays, because in the Europeans in Rome last year she literally got them through by the skin of her teeth with a finish like that, a dip on the line, 100th of a second got them into the final, and then they won it. So the Irish girls would have been champions other than that from the sandwich. So she has history of doing that. She's very, very strong. It's just as the season goes on, that first half of the race will sharpen up a bit. But then we see the lineup for the rest of the evening as we approach 8 o'clock. Men's 800 metres will be next up on track. We're seeing a track record here last year, meeting record, Edwin Duplessis with that low 144 clocking. So we're looking at men trying to do something similar here. We do have a couple of 144 guys in the field. The pacemaker is going to go through in about 51 flat and try and hold on for as long as he can. But it's certainly possibly a little bit breezier than they would like down there, judging by the times in that women's 400 metres. But of course the men's was quite quick, so we'll have to see. Hopefully those gusts will die down as the race goes on.
Yeah, really, really strong field in this men's 800. Thomas Randolph, one of the standouts there, the great British athlete, 1:44.88 is his personal best. Tiernan Rocken, also of Great Britain, 1:44.89, and that was in the Belfast IMC earlier this year. So really, really strong running from him this year. Second place in the European Team Championship as well in that A division in Madrid. The Preston-born athlete there, Tiernan, will be wearing a bib number 9. A couple of really good Polish athletes in this one as well. Werderka from Poland there, 1:44.23. That was only on the 5th of July, so we can't be denied he's in form. And that is a personal best and season's best, of course. And a 3:35 athlete then as well at his best over 1,500 metres. So really, really strong running across this whole field. Irish interest, Cian Phillips, he was second in the Corsi Sports earlier this week. He ran 1:45.33 in Boston earlier this year as well. Also has the B standard for Tokyo this year. So we're going to be going down to Charlene here and Will.
Well, another home victory this time in the women's 400 metres. And who else but, of course, the one and only Charlene Mosley. Charlene, congratulations. How was that for you?
Yeah, honestly, a win on a home crowd and a day like today, it's a very special feeling. I have my family up there and I just dug deep to the line to try and hold on for the win, and I'm so happy I did.
And you said to me you went out hard from the start, which is maybe not like what we've seen before from you, and maybe a little slower towards the end, but listen, you'll take a win.
Yeah, exactly, and I won't be doing that again. But no, I'm glad I committed to it and held on for the win, yeah.
And talk to me about this crowd here tonight and the weather.
Honestly, who would think we're in Ireland right now? And this crowd, wow. I know the support we have when we go away to an international competition, but nothing like stepping out here today. Honestly, I nearly started crying before I started. It was very special.
Well, you've certainly done everybody proud. Before you go, need to ask you just about the rest of the year. Obviously, everybody's looking towards the Nationals and then Tokyo as well. Is that something that's really fixed in your focus now that we're all road leads?
Yeah, exactly. It was just a weird season for me this year. It really is just one race at a time. Of course, I'll be here for Nationals and at the World Championships in September.
Well, we can't wait to see you knock more and more time off that time. A great race tonight. We'll see you back at Nationals. Charlene Mosley, another victory in the 400 metres, another home win. Let's get back to the action once more.
Yeah, great to hear from Charlene Mosley there. As I said, winner of the women's 400 metres, of course, tough couple of Charlene with the bereavement of her father, so has her family in the stands here to cheer her on. She held on for that win for them, she said. 3,500 other people forced her to get across that line with all the air in their lungs, so great performance from Charlene, and really great to see her on home soil winning in such style.
Yeah, it certainly felt like a football stadium, and they were trying to suck the goal in, and they were trying to force Charlene over the line there with everyone's cheering. Yes, this men's 800, the likely Irish contender here is Cian McPhillips, as I said earlier, a 1:45 athlete. But we've got a couple of British athletes and a couple of Polish athletes who are likely to be amongst it here, running 1:44 earlier this year. Tiernan Grocken in lane 7, and Maciej Werdyka also ran 1:44 just last week, so he's the World University Games champion 2 years ago, and 3:35 athlete best as well. Watching out for Piers Copeland in there as well, wearing bib number 5, 5th in the European Indoors in 2021 as a tactician. He's back after a difficult couple of years, coached by James Thee, and he's run a 3:54 mile this year, so he's going to be very strong as well in this field. So really even field. Pacemaker is Aaron Botman. He's going to go through in 50.5, which is fairly swift movement. Going to try and get to 600 meters. 31-year-old is 146 at his best, so he's going to get stuck in.
I think 50.5, it might be more of a 500 metre effort than a 600 for Botterman there of Belgium, but we are away at the first time of asking from the starter. Let's have a look at Cian McPhillips, how he approaches this one. His last couple of races this year on the outdoor scene, he's gone very slow through the first 100, but he's moving up a little bit better this time around. He's not going to be last at the 200 metre mark as he was in Cork earlier this week.
Certainly, no, it went well from Cork, finishing in second place, and with that championship Tokyo qualification standard of the pacemaker Aaron Botman getting to the front there. It is pretty quick, 25 seconds through the first 200 metres. So they are rolling well. They're pretty much single file at this stage because the pace is relatively quick. These athletes are moving through nicely. Botman there leading it at the moment, and just behind them then is Piers Copeland. They're coming up towards 400 metres now, and if they're going to go through in around 50.5, pretty much exactly. Great pacemaking.
Yeah, Tiernan Corkin just sitting in behind in second place in the race de facto, and Cian McPhillips in third. So those three Adidas men, once the pacemaker steps off, will be our top three at the moment, but doing a great job. And it is a 500 metre effort from the pacemaker, and it is Piers Copeland who takes over the lead. Ronan.
They're flying down the back straight, and McPhillips there sitting in second place, looking really strong. Oh, that 200 metres to go, and he's in third, my apologies, and he's going to try and get round into second place as we see it here. 150 metres left to run. We're flying at the moment. Those three Adidas athletes, Copeland in the lead, tearing into the home straight, and he is absolutely fine. Sorry, Marchus Wordrick with the 144, and he's number two. Then Cian McPhillips coming around. Can Cian McPhillips get up to win this one? He's just on the Polish athlete's shoulder. It's got 50 metres left to run, and McPhillips going to get it. It's going to be a hometown win here. 144.22, an incredible run, and it in fact is just. It's been corrected. It is in fact a meet record, breaking Edmund Duplessis of South Africa's record from last year. 144.19, incredible running from Cian McPhillips.
Yeah, that is absolutely unbelievable from Cian McPhillips. A brilliant run there. Took it on the home straight from Wojciech of Poland, Widerka of Poland, in fact, who would be just outside his own personal best, but a huge personal best there for Cian McPhillips. A stadium record, a meet record. See coming around that bend. The young Polish athlete did all the work once the pacemaker stepped away. Tiernan Corkin sitting in third place, but what a finish there from Cian McPhillips. Instead, he got himself up into the race this time, more so than he did the last two races. I was going to say to you before, Ronan, he needs to finish in lane 2 to win, because on Wednesday he finished in lane 3 to come second, and the team champs he was in lane 4 to come third. So it's the maybe the lane of high hopes, new one.
Yeah, the lane of high hopes. You can see him there. The Polish athlete Wojciech is just holding it outside the lane 1. He's doing absolutely everything right. You can't do any more than what he's doing there, but outside of actually pushing out McPhillips. What a run, getting around him and tearing down the home straight. As you said, he got out a little bit harder than this one and kept himself in the mix the whole way through the race. Too good a field to let them get away. And you can see there 144.19, 144.40, 145.70 the top three, so incredibly fast running here. Lewis Loughlin there with a 147 run as well. It's a really positive run from him.
Yeah, and see the importance of that dip as well. He gets that stadium record and meet record. He'll get a nice little bonus in an envelope as well from Noel Guyton, our meet director here. But it is, when you're going to run fast, you might as well run as fast as possible. So dips through the line to break that stadium record. 144.19, second fastest Irishman of all time. Prior to this year, he would have been a national record behind. Mark English has close broken through to 143 now, but there is a very happy Longford man, Cian McPhillips, record breaker.
Yeah, incredible run from him, and as such a young athlete, Mark English has set the bar for him again, but he's got a bit of time to try and chase him down. Up next, we're going to have the women's 800 metres, and hopefully we'll see a similar level of international performance. You can see here Cian McPhillips 144.19, Widerka 144.40, and Tiernan Corkin 144.570, so just outside his personal best. So really top class, top three there, and we're going to chat to Cian McPhillips now with Will.
Well, another Irish win here at the Morton Games in 2025. The latest one, Keane McPhillips joins me now. Keane, not just a win, but the fastest time ever ran on Irish soil, I believe. 1:44.19. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it's been. I've been working towards that for a long time. Kind of got derailed at a couple of stages, but just kept working. Had a bit of a fall indoors, kind of disrupted things, but worked my ass off on the bike for about 9 weeks, and just gradually getting back. So delighted with that and well ahead of schedule, and hopefully I can keep improving throughout the season.
We hope you do too. Listen, talk to me about the race. Tactics seem to be perfect. You got that spot on, and perfect conditions as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, like the main thing is the conditions. I think wind was great, the field was great, having a lane to yourself, having to go through so quick, and having the guys like Wyderk and them just being aggressive and getting on it. It's a huge help. As good as that time is, I might not even go quicker over the summer, even though I get in better shape, just because of how good the conditions were. So yeah, no, really happy with it.
And Irish men's 800 metre running, it's such a good place at the moment. Mark English doing so well, and the two of you seem to be pushing each other.
Yeah, like Mark's obviously, charted the path forward, and the best we can all do is just, hope to challenge him and get closer and closer. But yeah, it's a big motivator. I'm a bit away from maybe winning medals as he has, but getting there year by year.
You definitely are. And then finally, listen, talk to me about the rest of the season. Obviously, lots of Team Ireland athletes are looking towards Tokyo Nationals first, but is Tokyo, serious contention for you? Is that the aim for the season, to make it there?
I think so, yeah. It's been a late enough start to the season for me, so even if I did or didn't make it, I was going to continue on into September anyway. But obviously now that I've made it, it's a huge weight off the shoulders. You can be a bit more selective about which races you do. You're not chasing the standards. So the next big one I'd say will be Nationals. Let's put in a good performance there and build off that, see what races I can get into, and then aim for Tokyo.
Keane, an absolutely brilliant performance. I will let you enjoy it with the crowd, and I'm sure you've family members up there and all. Keane McPhillips up there, the fastest run ever by an Irishman in the 800 metres on Irish soil. What a result. Let's get back to the action.
Just here, great to hear from Keane McPhillips there, but this is John Kelly in the chocolate circle. I think he's definitely going to be out towards the season's best with his reaction for sure. You can just see John's always a fiery character, but he's had a couple of barren years, but he's definitely hopefully back in some good business there. 18:36 was his previous throw, that was his 18:10, so he's certainly happy with how he's thrown so far. Nick Palmer sitting in the lead in that one at the minute. He is holding off Simon Mazur, and Eric Favours, the Irish record holder, is down at 18:86 halfway through that competition, so halfway through the fourth round. Those leaders have 3 throws taken so far. There's our lineup for the ILH Dublin Marathon Women's 800, which is coming up next.
Yeah, really strong field in that one. You've got Gemma Brommel, who's got that B standard as well for Tokyo. Just needs to get those points picked up throughout. She's around 2 minutes 53 seconds. We've also got other athletes that we're going to see near the front of this, and Nina Pekotic of Croatia, a 201 athlete, silver medalist at the Balkan Indoor Championships. Hannah Seagrave from Great Britain, 1:59.30. She set that PB in Florida 2 years ago. She went to Harvard University. Victoria Basong from the United States as well, the 2025 NCAA 800 meter silver medalist. And we've also got a very interesting athlete here, Grace Van Agnew. She's a 400 meter hurdler up until the last 2 years, and has now gone on to run 2 minutes flat, 2:45, and she finished second in the British Championships earlier this year. And then Laura Parcolo, just introduced to the crowd there, the Italian. She won the World University gold over 800 and 1500 meters, so a tactician. So really, really high quality, and a high quality field, not only in terms of times, but in terms of results as well.
Absolutely, yeah. As I said, these are the latest results. We're 3.5 rounds in, so Nick Palmer is top in the leaderboard at the minute with that 20 metre throw. Only man over 20 metres so far. Simon Mazur, 19:32 for the pole, and Irish record holder Eric Favours with 18:86. He'll be hoping to add around a metre to that at least in the next 3 rounds to get himself up the podium and to get some good bonus points with that result. Lots of young Irish athletes in this one as well, running a couple of apologies. There's a couple of under 23s who are heading to the European under 23 championships, and Emma Moore and Alex O'Neill, and then Jenna Brommel, of course. moved up from the 4s a number of years ago and is back to her best with a 2 flat clocking already this year. So see what she can do in serious international talent all around her.
Yeah, a lot of those under 23 athletes will be hoping that they can make that jump now and run 2:01 and 2 minutes with this high class field. You can see the Italian there, Laura Peccolo getting out very strong there in the outer lanes. Grace Van Agu get out well as well, and Hannah Seagrave going really well there in lane 4. So we should see them try and figure themselves out over this 100 metres. They'll start to move in now from that curve and go in into the back straight here, and we'll have 200 metres left in this lap and a lap to go then when they come around. So the pacemaker, Kate O'Connell, has gone out really strongly there.
Yeah,
good running
for about 58 seconds, so 27 there at the first 200, 27 high, so she'll be looking to come through in 58 or 59. I think she's been requested a 58, so the field might go through in 59, but let's see how she goes through 300 here. Looking towards 42, 43. So spot on here so far, ahead of that 60-second pace from O'Connell out front. As I said, Seagrave, I think, slotting in behind her.
Yeah, and then you see Basong there in the white just outside that. So those two athletes are two 159 athletes, and they'll be hoping to be sitting in behind it. Grace Van Agu, the number 7 there in behind, and Laura Peccolo, the Italian, just the outside, the tactician. And it is, in fact, our lady Victoria Basong going for the front, and she is in the white vest there leading with 300 metres left to run. This is where we're going to see this race unfold here. Can she get away from these athletes down the back straights, or can they reel her in? You can see Laura Peccolo, the Italian there, the 2023 World University gold medalist over 8 and 1500 metres, a tactician. She's going around with 250 metres left to run. It could be too far to run for her. Basong is just holding her off there, trying to make sure she goes around, particularly on the curve here. And you can see coming up out of that field, that is Jenna Brommel, I think, coming out of that field there and trying to chase up into third place. But Basong there with 100 metres left to run is going really well. Laura Peccolo sort of trying to get around the outside.
Yeah, we're at about 145, 146 on the clock there with 100 metres to go. So can we see a sub 2 minute clocking here in this 800 metres? Basong trying to hold off the strong finishing Pellicoro of Italy, and it's going to be neck and neck all the way to the line here. Can Basong do it? She's led since the pacemaker, and it's going to be a fall and a dip for the line. And who got it? It always looks like the athlete with momentum, Pellicoro of Italy. Perhaps they're finishing on the outside closest to the camera. 2:01.35 unofficially on the clock. But a brilliant race there, battling down the home straight. We'll have to wait for the judges in the room to decide that one.
And I didn't cop it there, Ger, as I was trying to figure out who the long striding athlete in third place was. But you'll see here, it wasn't Gemma Brommel on our feed. It was in fact Alex O'Neill, and that is going to be a huge personal best. The personal best is 2:48. You can see her there. She's just on the inside. Gemma Brommel, as you can see, is really flying up that home straight as well in that lane 1. But O'Neill there gets up for third, I think, or she might get pipped by Brommel on the line. But a really strong run for the other 23 athletes. But it looks like Peccolo, the Italian, on the line. I did call it before, and they said she was a tactician. They said she was going to do it, Jared. Hand me that money.
She said she's got gold medals from World University Games, so you got to be a good racer to win gold. So
do I get one of those checks now?
Well, we'll see what the official says. If you do, yes. If not, if Basong held on, then you were the biggest loser here, and not for the first time. But we'll see what the officials decide on for that one. But brilliant. Jeez, we're just getting spoiled with action here, running at these Morton Games, live from North County Dublin, Santry, at ILH Dublin Marathon Women's 800 metres. The stand is packed. We might just see it wafting across the hill, and some of those shots of smoke from the barbecues billowing in. And we're getting a good smell of it here too, making a lot of people hungry. But you can see in the back of your shot just behind the pole vault.
And it is in fact Laura Peccolo. You can see it there in the background. She was smoking out there, smoked that field. 2:01.39 and 2:01.33 and 2:01.33. It is a dead heat. Victoria Basong then is finishing in second place, and it is Alex O'Neill, 2:01.70, so huge PP for her. 2:01.75 for Jenna Brown, a really good run as well, but huge run from Alex O'Neill there in third.
Yeah, big breakthrough performance from the young Irish athlete, but the joint times of 2:01.33 for first and second, we did separate them, Pellicoro and Basong. But a brilliant race. What a highlight to the meet so far. Adding to that men's 800 previously with that all-comers record. I think that was in fact an Irish all-comers record, the fastest 2 laps we've ever seen on Irish soil, and we've seen the fastest 1 lap just shortly before that, but Eliane Larachina's 400 metres 45:09. So spoiled here this evening.
You know what the problem is here, Dirk? they're going to have to try and outdo themselves again next year. Noel Guyton is there going, oh no, I've gone too far.
Absolutely. He's been saving it all up for a couple of years, in fairness, with the weather he's been given. So it was due a good one, and certainly we are being absolutely spoiled here this evening with these performances. It's an absolute cracker. The weather is playing ball, but the athletes have to toe the line and put in the performances too. And it's just, you know yourself, when you show up to a meet and the weather is good, the energy lifts. And I think I seen it yesterday with the athletes here doing their shakeouts and warm-ups before the meet. And you can come to a track and see how good the conditions are, how good the facility is, and you know you're going to get sunshine and calm day, then you're just a little bit more motivated to push that extra limit.
Certainly, and these athletes are certainly showing up to the table and making sure they're taking advantage of the brilliant facilities, the races that have been set up here by the Morton Games Committee. And we will go for the high jump here.
Yeah, Fedra Fekete there, the Hungarian, has gone over 186, so I think this might be 189 we're looking at. And I think she is the only athlete here so far.
Yeah, that would be a season's best for her if so, and getting very close to that 188 personal best, 4-time national indoor champ.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking at Annie Stapleton failed once at 84 and twice at 86, so she is out. I think Emily Whelan is due to have another attempt, so she may have just skipped forward to 189 as well to try and take the win if she goes clear, but she may only have one attempt at that. But it is Fedra Fekete on the runway at the moment. There you see the full standings. According to the live results, it is just Emily Whelan who is live in this competition with Fedra Fekete.
Yeah, up next we're going to have the men's 5k on the track. You see there, unfortunately no clearance, but men's 5k coming up. It's going to be an incredible race, really strong field, as we were talking about earlier. Irish interest in this as well, with the likes of Cormac Dalton. Ephraim Giddy is in there as well, fresh off that on screen is Laura Peccolo, the Italian champion here from the 800 meters. Delighted with her trophy and what appears to be a very kind of miniature bouquet of flowers.
It's even fit in the bag nicely.
Yeah. So
yeah, getting her adoration on the podium. The Italian winner, and what a win it was. A brave battle down the home straight, and just gets it on the dip. So that 5,000 meters men getting ready to go off. 22 men towing the line in balmy conditions here. We're still in the high 20s in North Dublin, which is so unusual, and it's saying 0% chance of rain. Not a
100% chance of pain.
Absolutely, that's a fact. As I said, lots of Irish interest in this one, but as well as very strong international competitors. But Ephraim Giddy with that 10,000 meters European gold earlier in the summer running as well. So he's a man who is based from here. This is his home club. He's been coached here for the majority of his life. He's now moved to coach in England, but is still back here training all year round. What can he do in front of his home crowd? Get the adoration, seeking that drive him home.
Yeah, it'll be an incredibly popular winner. 13:23 at his best, but after setting national records over 10k and half marathon, and obviously winning that European Cup as well, he's in incredible form. A couple other athletes to watch out in this field as well. As I said, Cormac Dalton, the other Irish athlete, 13:26 at his best. Norwegian athlete Sondre Moen, he's an elder statesman in this field, but he has been in the Paris Olympic Marathon national record holder for Norway over 10k, and it's not like the Norwegians are poor at running, especially distance running. Half marathon record holder and marathon record holder. He's ran 2:05 for the marathon at his best, so he will be strong. Valentin Soka, the Uruguayan, 13:13, South American champ in 2023 and 4th in NCAA's earlier this year. He's ran 7:34. He will be amongst it there later on in this race. Maximin Shamaton from South Africa, 13:19 his best. He's the 2025 and 2023 South African 5k champion. Matt Strangio, 13:23 his best. 13:36 earlier this year, the American, who went to the University of Portland. And finally, Florent Lapalec, great name, from France, 13:29. He's the silver medalist in the 2021 European Under-23. So these athletes are the most likely to be amongst us at the end. And a special shout out to the pacemaker, Jason Clayton, goes to the University of Loyola Chicago. and he's good friends with my cousin and was in my house there pretty much all of last week, and generally seeing the delights of West Cork as well as running the Cork City Sports.
Indeed. Eating your cereal and drinking your tea and coffee.
Well, I hope not.
Hopefully not. Yeah, we will have another man in that one from the domestic perspective that will certainly, I'm sure, give it a good challenge is Cormac Dalton. Maybe hoping to put on a good performance here. He's based in Dublin as well. He's technically a training partner of our 800-metre champion Keane Phillips. I'm not sure how much they'll overlap in training, but coached both by Joe Ryan, of course, and he'll be another man, Mullingar man, hoping to put in a challenge. You see John Kelly in the black singlet there. His name is on screen. He'll be up next into the shot put circle, but 5,000 metres is coming right up.
The LB Thomas 5k here. It is 12 and a half laps here. The waterfall start because we've got a 22-man field, and we will see them get into the home straight here, and then the outer lanes they will start to cut in, and we'll see our pacemaker Jason Clayton as well will be setting a nice handy pace of 2:28 and a 3k in and around 8 minutes. And we've got David Kanatis of the United States up front. He's only going 4 laps at 64s, 63, 64s, which is in around 4 minute pace for 1500 meters, 4:17 mile pace. So to give you an idea of how quick this is, we're looking at these athletes running in around 13:15 by the end of this race, which your local park run and your local 5k, if you're running, anyone running under 16 minutes is going to be running pretty well in those races, and these guys don't run about 3 minutes quicker, so it's incredibly quick running here. The 2 pacemakers out front there, you've got Carndanis and Clayton first and second, and we've got a full field here, all 22 athletes pretty much in single file, a little bit of a bunch there in the middle, but they are rolling around nicely here as we're going to get up towards the 600 metre mark. So these athletes will only be mere 11 laps to go on this very, very warm evening. We've got 12th place Valentin Soka, the Uruguayan there you can see him just there in third in that field, the Uruguayan national record holder, so he is probably the most likely technical winner here. He's got the best personal best of this field, the athlete there just in third place. You can see the high jump there. We've got our athlete Fedra Fedeke. This is for 188, so she's going to try and set a personal best here, hopefully, if she sails over this, and she does so, and an incredible jump there from Fedra, and she's absolutely delighted with that. So I suspect we're looking at 189 there and a personal best for her, so she'll be delighted with proceedings and will only go and set the bar a little bit higher. So back to this men's 5k field here. Got that athlete Valentin Soka in third place, number 20 there, tall athlete Matt Strangio. I mentioned him earlier, the Portland athlete. He is the taller athlete there in the purple, just in fourth place in that field. Jason Clayton there, the athlete from Loyola, in second place. He is a pacemaker, and he's going to take over and bring him up to they're going to bring him up towards that 3k mark. You see Ephraim Goody there in fourth place, and Cormac Dalton and Mullingar Harrier there in fifth place. Went to the University of Tulsa, and those athletes are going to be battling at the national seniors later on in the summer as well, and have battled many times, know each other very well. Sanjay Mohan then in sixth place, and then the tall athlete just behind them, the marathon record holder. So single file, John Travers worth mentioning there at the back of that main group as well. Great moment here many years ago on that Morton mile race. The crowd went absolutely wild. John Travers running 3:55 for the mile, so an elder statesman of the field now at this stage, but still well capable to be amongst it here in this international class field.
Yeah, ran his 1500 PB in that race as well. He was going through in about 3:51 pace, but got through in 3:37 through the 1500, got that PB down, and then finished in 3:55. That was a big breakthrough for John back then. That was pre-super shoes or spikes era, I suppose, so it was a even more impressive feat, but he slotted right in here, trying to hang on to that main pack just behind the Hungarian István Szolgai.
Yeah, you'd have to think that's probably worth maybe 10-15 seconds faster these days.
Oh, John's surely 340 miler, yeah, at least.
So our early pacemaker David Carnadas has dropped out.